For the second straight week, a teenager has a shot at capturing a major championship on the guaranteed rate PBA Tour. 18-year-old Anthony Nyer tries to become the youngest to win one of pro bowling's most prestigious events, the U.S. Open, next on FS1. For the first time, Reno and the iconic National Bowling Stadium play host to the U.S. Open, and we've got just a little bit of everything on today's show. It begins with the birthday boy, Christian Azcona, looking to make some Puerto Rican history as he meets one of the hottest on the tour right now, Jason Sterner. 18-year-old Anthony Nyer awaits the winner. Jacob Buttriff looks to end a U.S. Open jinx, and Chris By again goes for his first tour title as we welcome you to the 77th edition of the U.S. Open live here on FS1. Rob Stone, the Hall of Famer Randy Pedersen from the house that Ernie McCracken built right here. This has been the highest scoring U.S. Open in decades, and it has played perfectly into the hands of our one seed today, Chris By.
Yeah, it really has. Welcome back, my friend. It's good to have you. Chris By is probably the hottest bowler on tour in majors, and who could forget his 300 game that he bowled in the Eastern Regional Finals of the Players' Championship. But Rob, red hot in majors, and today he finds himself in the most enviable position of being the number 1 seed.
Our 2 seed, Jacob Buttriff, a 2-time runner-up at the U.S. Open, also a 2-time runner-up this season on the tour.
Yeah, he's been rededicated himself. He's been bowling really great this season. His lone major, the 2019 Masters, but let's not forget what he did in 2017 and 2018 when he dominated the U.S. Open, only to lose in the title match. Maybe the number 2 seed bodes better for Jacob today.
And he is our only major winner on today's telecast. Youth continues to be served this season on the PBA Tour. Last week at the Masters, it was the 18-year-old Spencer Robarge. This week, another 18-year-old, Anthony Nyer, who's got some pretty good bowling DNA.
Yeah, he really does. I used to bowl with his dad way back in the day on tour, back when we used to throw bowling balls that were only one color, and his father actually ended up winning a title. But I think what impressed me most about Anthony last night was the last 8 games of match play, he went from 8th to 3rd, and I really think that showed what kind of moxie he has.
The 18-year-old loaded up his pickup truck in Pennsylvania, drove all the way here to Reno to try and become the youngest major champion in bowling history. He's standing by with our Kimberly Pressler.
Thanks, Rob. So, Anthony, there's been a lot of talk about you being 18 years young, making a major telecast, and you told us last night that there was a lot of talk of whether or not you can actually handle the pressure, but you went from 8th to 3rd to secure your spot. You were confident last night, but now you're under the bright lights of FS1. How are the nerves?
The nerves are, I'm pretty well under control. Obviously, there's a little bit, but I've been here before. I've been on TV. It's not my first time out here. It's a different stage, but I'm just going to take it one shot at a time and use my experience on TV.
Well, let's talk about the fact that you've been bowling for a really long time. You come from a bowling family. Your dad won a PBA Tour title. Did you used to watch the U.S. Open as a kid?
Yeah, I always dreamed of being here. This is almost a dream come true just to be on the TV show, but the fact that I used to grow up watching all these guys out here and now it's me, it's still unbelievable.
All right, well, it looks like you're ready for your major debut. Guys?
Kimberly, thank you. We had to verify he was 18 years old yesterday, Randy. We said, show us the driver's license.
Yeah.
Let's see. He does not look 18.
You asked for his driver's license.
Truth.
Yeah.
He doesn't look it, and he doesn't act it. Today's 4 seed is Rochester, New York's Jason Sterner. Flash looks for his 4th tour title and first major of his 16-year pro career.
Yeah, Jason Sterner is making back-to-back shows, Rob, having finished 4th at last week's Masters. You know how many games he's bowled over the last 2 weeks?
You gave me the number. It was high.
Yeah, 99. So since March 29th, he hasn't had a day off.
14 straight days?
14 straight days of bowling, 99 games, and that's just competition, not counting practice.
Feels like a lot.
That's a lot.
We begin the 77th U.S. Open. Sterner, your 4 seed. Right of target.
Came in last night to watch the last 8 games of match play, Rob, and I remember looking at you and saying, this is reminding or reminiscent of back when I used to compete in the mid-'80s, where everybody was throwing non-reactive or urethane bowling balls. All 24 finalists.
One of the themes this week at the U.S. Open. Sterner cleans that one up. Spare to start this one. Your 5 seed is the pride of Puerto Rico, 27-year-old Christian Azcona, seeking to become the first major champion from the U.S. territory.
And the only PBA champion from Puerto Rico, Christian Azcona, actually led one of the rounds here at the 2021 U.S. Open. Qualified second in match play at the 2020 Tournament of Champions, and he was the 2017 South Region Player of the Year.
Graduated high school in Puerto Rico, won an international event where he essentially got scouted and recruited, came to the States the next month to bowl at Lindenwood University, and here he is on the PBA Tour. That's how you started, Christian. Happy birthday, number 27 for Christian Azcona, who now lives just outside Orlando in Claremont, as we take a look at today's oil pattern.
42 feet, and I mean, this pattern basically told all the players you have to play the extreme outside part of the lane, and the players found a really good home. Remember, there were 4 different patterns, the last pattern being the one that we used for match play, all throughout match play, and it really yielded some high scores, some big scores, and you mentioned it in the Open.
Azcona's best career finish prior to the season at the U.S. Open, 60th. Back at 2019 in North Carolina, 60th. Quite a jump this week. Back-to-back opening jacks here at the U.S. Open for Azcona.
56 total games to get to this point for the players as we take a look at Christian's bowling ball going right through the 1-3 for that opening double. 24 games of qualifying over 3 days. Then they cut to the cashier's round, another 8, and then the top 24 for 24 games of match play.
You talked about all the bowling Sterner has done over the last 2 weeks, Randy, and it has done some damage to his right hand. You guys talked about it last week on the Masters show, but some vitamin E capsules coming into play.
Yeah, he's learning the tricks that we kind of knew about back in the day. So he takes a vitamin E capsule, cracks it open, pours that vitamin E oil all over it, and then bandages it up and leaves it overnight.
But you gave him some taping, some patch advice last night. How did he miss this out? Old man Pedersen had to straighten him out.
Well, because we lived with cut patch and new skin back in the day, but he said every time he pulls the new skin or the patch off his thumb, it pulls the skin up. I said, bro, you got to soak that first.
Rookie mistake. He's only been on the tour for 16 years. Oh, late drop. Gets a strike there in the 3rd.
Yeah, huge break on the trip 2 forward, because remember the first time on that lane, Rob, he went light, comes back and goes light again. Watch this break. Bucket standing. Not anymore.
You talked about the high use of urethane. The other theme this week at the U.S. Open, high scores. Take me through kind of the conversation of why urethane has been in place so much this week and why we're seeing these numbers that we haven't seen in decades right after Azcona goes for his 3rd straight. Stand-up triple to start for Azcona. Randy?
Well, let me give you some numbers. 226 average just to make it to the telecast. I can't remember a U.S. Open ever being that high. I remember 226 being a great score at a U.S. Open. That's what they averaged. The urethane, or the non-reactive bowling ball, is in play because the oil pattern is dictating that. It's telling these players not only where to play, but what equipment to throw. And they absolutely lived in the pocket using the non-reactive bowling balls.
Are the numbers too high for your liking?
Yes.
Why?
Because this is the U.S. Open.
Elbow!
How long has it been?
It's been a while, man. It's been a while. Had to practice in front of the bathroom mirror today.
I heard you all the way down the hall.
Oh,
yeah.
You were on
at the hotel.
Yeah, you were on the second floor, huh?
Actually, I was on the third floor and still heard you.
Yep.
Great shot here. But getting back to the comment about me thinking that the scores are too high, I think that in any sport, U.S. Open is synonymous with being very difficult, very hard,
demanding,
very tough to demand. I mean, grueling, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's always been that way.
So you want to see 260s, 250s, 270s?
No.
No.
I do not. I want to see 210, 220.
Oh, that low.
2-0. I want to see these guys just grinding. Last week's pattern for the Masters, that's U.S. Open style. They were so brutally tough, and that's kind of what the U.S. Open's always been about. And I think that's what's made winning the U.S. Open so gratifying.
We have seen 7 straight strikes after Sterner opened this match with a 9 spare. Again, leading to the conversation about the high scores this week at the U.S. Open. I'm a high score guy. I like to see big,
sure,
bouncy, sexy, beautiful numbers. Some work to do here.
Light, light, light. Every shot on that left lane for Sterner has come up light. This time it's the 2-4-5. So the adjustment for me would be to have Jason move his feet a little bit to the right and keep that target the same, and let's try to straighten that angle a little more towards the 1-3 pocket.
Slams that one down. Remains perfect. Bookends 3 straight strikes. With a 7 spare. Azcona has been perfect through 4. He's already the first from Puerto Rico to win a PBA Tour title. Did it in 2018 in Wilmington. Trying now to become the first from Puerto Rico to win a major tour title.
Be a nice birthday present.
Tell me about it. Left the 10.
Leaves the quitter 10 pin.
The quitter 10.
The quitter 10, yeah.
Didn't want it, huh?
That's your favorite pin.
Do you even work out 10 pin?
Apparently this one does it because that's a weak 10. It's a good start, though, for Christian. See him change that thumb hole. That's the interchangeable thumb that can go from one bowling ball to the next. The purpose for that is to make different bowling balls all feel the same.
Randy, we've seen the 10 pin come into play at past U.S. Opens. Woo! Skinny jeans! Azcona remains clean. Oh,
just enough of it.
Squeezed. Gotta suck it in the breath on those. Azcona can max out with a 279. See his best finish ever at a major was 9th. That was the TOC in Jupiter, Florida. Lead is at 12. We begin the 6th.
See the difference there where the 6 goes to the sidewall and does what it's supposed to do with its job and just absolutely fillets that 10 pin?
Tight one, Randy, so far between Azcona and Sterner. We conclude match 1 from the U.S. Open next. The PBA on FS1 is sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. If you believe it, you can do it. Guaranteed Rate, believe you will. And by Kia, introducing the all-new Sorrento, the world's first storytelling machine. Oh man, how beautiful is Lake Tahoe? Randy, you tell me you're going to be sticking around town for a couple days skiing?
Man, I can't wait to hit the slopes.
Go to North Star, maybe Alpine Meadows. I don't think your left knee wants to ski.
My left knee is like...
It's no part of it.
My left knee wants no part of skiing.
Here's Sterner, close out the 7th. Or rather, just close out the 6th.
He likes this lane.
Come on. Doesn't like that result.
Vicious ring and 10 there.
Just under 19 miles an hour, that throw.
Well, they don't call him Flash for nothing. He's a speed guy, and it's one of the things he's really worked on, Rob, is trying to control that ball speed. He likes to throw it. He's in great shape.
He likes to hustle to the line. That's how he got the nickname Flash.
Right.
All the guys were saying, dude, as soon as you get the ball, you're already up at the line, throw and take some time. And you're right, he admitted, speed control, getting to the lane, and once you're at the lane, so critical. He's had to force himself to slow down, and what a season he's having right now. He gets a win. He's right in Player of the Year conversations. We take a look at our strike track powered by Kia.
And both players playing fairly similar. Ascona just a couple of boards left of Sterner, but that's because of ball speed. You can see how much faster Sterner's ball is traveling down the lane, and therefore Ascona is going to have a little more shape, a little more motion.
See the launch position differences there. Sterner to begin the 7th. He can max out with a 256.
All right.
His 4th strike of this opening match.
Look at these two numbers here, Rob. So it's 5.7 at the arrows and then 5.5 at the break point. That's about as straight up the lane as you can throw it.
Straighter is greater here at the U.S. Open.
It was the last 32 games when they went to this pattern.
Another strike for Ascona. 5-time member of the Puerto Rican national team. You know there's a party going on right now in Puerto Rico watching this one, right?
There is.
He's got 2 brothers,
Yep.
Javier and Michael, 2 sisters, Nicole and Valerie, and he said one of them is hosting the party. We think it's Michael, could be Javier, but here's my request. Javier, Michael, Nicole, Valerie, send us a picture, send us a video, send it to, let's say, just send it to PBA Tour Twitter, and we're going to do our darndest to get it on, right? Because we want to see this reaction in Puerto Rico to what the birthday boy, Christian Ascona, is doing up here in Reno. Strike number 7.
Well, if you think they were having a good time in Puerto Rico, what do you think happened when you mentioned all their names? They're going crazy. And then brother Christian steps up cooler than a polar bear's feet and buries another 10 in the pit.
NASCAR coming up next here on FS1. Continue the blue Emu 500 coverage. Sterner in a bit of a hole right now, down 33. Needs to start stringing strikes big time here to conclude. Had one in the 7th, needs to build on it here in the 8th. Back to back.
Yeah, real good on that right lane, Rob. Only the 1 ring and 10, but you see our strike track numbers there. Also, lots of great stats as Jason's going to take a re-rack, but lots of great stats that come to us from Lane Talk. And for more information on their great app and all their great information, go to lanetalk.com.
Just saw bottom left of your screen headshot, and I think a lot of people are going, I don't know who that is. Why am I looking at that kid right there? That is 18-year-old Anthony Nyer, your 3 seed. He is up next to take on the winner, Sterner Ascona. The Nyer story, amazing on so many levels. Can't wait to jump into it when we see him in our next match.
Must strike here for Sterner.
So that's It's his second three-bagger of this match.
He cuts the lead to 13. He finally got the ball to face up hard enough on that left lane. And he will finish on the right lane as Kona now steps up in the 9th and 10th. A nice shot here, but no matter what, he can't shut out Christian Azcona. Did you know that Christian only lives like 30 minutes from me?
He lives in the town you used to live in, Claremont, right?
That is correct. You know who else lives in Claremont?
Norm Duke.
You know who else?
Jason Couch.
That is correct.
10 pin.
That's all right because you still see the max score there. With a spare here, if he strikes twice and gets 9, he shuts out Sterner. Again, there's that quitter 10. Do you even lift? Not even a little.
It's like freshman football, right? You don't even lift, bro. You don't even know. Got to get that 10 pin up to JV varsity status.
Last time that 10 pin was lifting was doing ankles.
The little Velcro wraparound ankle weights, walking on the strand. 95% of the time, 10 pin taken care of here on the tour. As Kona drops that one into the pit, so he remains clean. Just his second spare of this opening match. And we transition now to the 10th. 2 strikes and 9 for the win. Told us how much he likes this facility. The ball just seems to strike here for him. The patterns have worked out well for him.
Good news for Christian, Rob, is he's been perfect on this left lane.
Looking for his 5th straight strike on the left lane, and he finds it.
Well, he got away with this one, I think, because he double dribbled it. And the ball still held line perfectly. Try to get you a replay of that, but you can definitely hear it. Here it comes right here. Watch this, Rob. Good news is it's still 10 back. He needs another strike.
And then 9.
Yeah, anything less, Sterner still has a chance. Christian Azcona taking a re-rack. Great strategy. Make your opponent sit and wait. Collect your thoughts as well. Step up and make the best shot you can make and give yourself a chance to win this match. Come on.
Just needs 9 on the next shot, and he will move on.
Well, he gets this one a little bit to the right, and again, it had such a good touch to it, and that part of the lane is in play, so watch this here. And it just really reads that friction and ends up in a perfect spot. Now 9, and he moves on to take on the youngster.
Needs 9 for the win. He'll take 10 and move on. So your 5 seed, the birthday boy, Christian Azcona, moves on to your next match. And it's going to be an interesting one. He's got an 18-year-old with some serious bowling DNA in his system. Anthony Nyer from Milton, Pennsylvania, hits the U.S. Open lanes next when our coverage of the U.S. Open on FS1 continues. We welcome you back to the PBA on FS1. Randy, we're going to flash back 10 years ago. 10th anniversary of the U.S. Open. Major Mika Koivu-Niemi taking on Stormin' Norman Duke.
Yeah, I mean, I remember this U.S. Open like it was yesterday. Norm Duke was dead in the water. He threw the last 4 strikes, 9th and 10th frame, to force Mika to mark. Mika throws a great shot, leaves it 10-pin.
No problem, right?
Not a problem. He's
Greatest fair shooter in the world.
Yeah. Couldn't believe it. I think the look on Norm Duke's face right there kind of says it all.
And then the turn of the head, and he does the math. Wait a second.
Yeah.
I get to raise an eagle. Yep.
Incredible. I remember getting to the airport, and I was still buzzing. Like, what did I just see?
Well, what you just saw here at this edition of the U.S. Open is Christian Azcona taking care of Sterner, a 2-point win, 258-256. That is a huge win for Christian Azcona because it gives him a nice little bump in the PBA playoff standings. This is the final event before May's PBA playoffs coming your way from beautiful Madison, Connecticut. Cannot wait to get back to Connecticut for that one. So Azcona gets himself a major win and a big boost in points as we look at the PBA playoff points list right now. There's your top 10 right now. Troop, Doherty, Francois Lavoie, Chris Vi, our 1 seed later today, Jacob Buttroff, today's 2 seed. It gets interesting right around the cut line, and it gets interesting because we've just gotten verification that your number 14 person on the list, Jason Belmonte, will not participate in the playoffs, going to head back home to the birth of his 4th child. Jason, wish you and your family the best, so that line can actually slide down one more, which means Mr. Azcona slides on in. The big story next, though, another teenager, Anthony Nair, set to hit the lanes. This is a young man that doesn't look like a young man, but certainly acts like it.
Yeah, you know, we talked about it with Robards last week, and it's amazing just how much more seasoned the youngsters are now. They have much more stuff to bowl, more tournaments, better equipment, better coaching, and they're just ready. You know, they're ready for these types of moments. And, you know, Spencer Robards proved that last week, and I don't see Anthony Nair not proving himself here today.
Does he look phased in the seat?
He looks pretty comfy.
He looks fine. He looks like you sitting on a seat on a Sunday. I'm going to need another beverage over here, and the remote battery's changed. Nair, Azcona, coming up next on FS1. Rob Stone, Randy Pedersen, Kimberly, Pressler back here with you inside the National Bowling Stadium in Reno. We update our U.S. Open Stepladder, and we're set now for match number 2. 5-seed Christian Azcona, 2-pin winner over Jason Sterner. Up next, the teenager, the 3-seed Anthony Nair. Azcona will start. Lives in Claremont, Florida now, native of Puerto Rico. 1 PBA Tour title on his resume. Looking to make it 2. Also looking to become the first from Puerto Rico to win a major on the PBA Tour. Continues his strike expertise here. Had 10 strikes last game. Today's 3-seed, 18-year-old Pennsylvania native Anthony Nair, who looks to become the youngest major winner in PBA history. Talked about the DNA in this young man. We're going to get to that in a second, Randy. We got some flashback video.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
That is just so enjoyable. We'll see his dad, Andy, win a tour title. Here's Anthony under the lights. The lefty. Oh, that close to a 7-10 opportunity. Instead, it's just the 7. Big break early for the teenager.
That would have been rude.
Not a nice welcome to the PBA Tour under the lights.
Few more revolutions than Father Andy, and I know Andy's really going to appreciate that one.
Just a few more I mean, this hoss hauls it down there.
Yeah.
Kimberly He was here at the Masters last week. Didn't quite go as well as he was hoping, so he made some big changes.
Absolutely, he did, Rob, because ahead of this U.S. Open, Anthony described his first year as a pro as disappointing. So before the start of this event, he took 3 days off and practiced 4 to 5 hours a day, specifically on lowering his swing and getting his timing back. Now, that practice seems to have paid off, because before the show, I spoke with him, and he said, my swing is where I want it to be, and my timing is better than it ever was. Let's see if those adjustments can translate to his first win on a major telecast.
And he gets his first strike on a major telecast. He finished tied for 83rd, Kimberly, last week in the same building at the USBC Masters. Let's take a look, Randy, at his approach in that strike.
You know, it's a very interesting approach for a player that uses his thumb. Big, long third, and then you could see the two right and left feet actually touch each other. It's real reminiscent of a two-handed style, but Anthony uses his thumb in one hand.
It's got that little hop step.
Yeah, we're used to seeing that with the two-handers.
As Kona started the last match with 4 straight strikes. That trend will not continue here.
Just a little bit high, leaving the 4-pin. So I would expect Christian to move his feet and his target a little bit left. And when I say a little bit, about an inch with both. Remember, 39 boards across the lane, each board about 1 inch wide. Christian's going to make what we'd call a 1-and-1 move. One with his feet, one with his target on that right lane.
Curls that one in. I love the walk away.
Yeah, it's like that.
I got it. 2-pin win in match number 1 for your 5 seed as Kona. The winner of this one to take on your 2 seed, Jacob Buttroff, trying to win his first U.S. Open. Boy, he has been so close so many times. Was dominant this week for a majority of the U.S. Open. That's been kind of a theme for him through the years at U.S. Opens.
Yeah, he led 5 of 7 rounds here this week.
Strike, spare, strike to start here for Kona in match 2.
Nice little messenger. You know, the good news for Anthony Nair is that Kona didn't jump off to that quick start with 3 in a row. And, you know, anytime you're on television for the first time, you're always looking to find a way to actually bring oxygen into your body. And that's kind of a really good way to help that.
Lefty back on that right lane. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, gravity was in a battle, and it lost just barely.
I think this was on the half board. If I could get the strike track numbers, it was real close to the half board.
Half board? Let's go quarter board. Wow, he dropped 2 in the gutter during practice, Randy. I mean, that is dancing with the devil.
Instead, it's a double and an early lead.
Right?
Isn't that crazy?
From catastrophe to a lead.
It was a half inch from being 0.
My goodness. Here he goes again. Fearless. And another strike for the teenager.
You know, I think this is some of the funnest stuff that you can see in professional bowling when the bowlers get to play the extreme outside line. I can't tell you how many amateurs are scared to death of that, because the only thing that they're thinking about is the worst outcome, and that would be 0. And these guys, they don't think that way. I grew up on a gutter shot in Southern California. I loved playing outside of first arrow. It's what I grew up on.
I haven't gotten my breath back. I mean, that is insane. My goodness. So as Kona, methodical, able to calm things down here. Oh, now he's got a big challenge ahead of him. My goodness.
Well, he didn't make a big enough move on that lane, and you can see the ball jumping right through the face. And so what he's going to do is he's going to try to cut the bowling ball over here to the left side of the 4-pin and slice it into the 10.
Just 4.5% of the time on the tour, the 410 is dropped. Open frame for Azcona in the 4th. Do you want to watch all the PBA classics? I know Randy does.
Yep.
You can stay up to date on PBA exclusive content and tournament highlights. All you need to do, Randy, write it down. All right, head to PBA.com to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can catch up on all the PBA action. Head to PBA.com today. I think in a moment we're going to show a clip that we might have swiped from the PBA.com YouTube channel.
I'm on there right now.
Azcona to open up the 5th. After an open frame, gets a strike. Needed that.
Well, let's see what young Master Nair can do about that opening that was given to him by Azcona in the 4th.
Yes, episode 1 of Extreme Living, the bowling edition, with Anthony Nair. Folks, watch how close this one gets to the gutter. Double wood.
So location looked pretty good, but maybe just a little firm. And he has to play the extreme outside line just to find some friction. Anthony Nair, one of 2 southpaws we have on today's telecast. The other, you'll see him in the next match.
Jacob Buttroff. Nair drops the double wood. Can we flash back now?
Yes, let's
We've
do
been
it.
waiting for this. 1994, the Hall of Fame championship. Anthony's dad, Andy, who kind of looks like you a little bit, Randy.
He's way better looking, but let me tell you something. Nobody suitcased it better than Andy Nair did.
Who was he taking on in the title match? WJ, the bearded legend.
Andy was a heck of a bowler. And very surprising that he only came away with 1 title.
And you saw, and an Eagle was awarded.
Yeah.
Just like an Eagle awarded today. And could his son Anthony be picking it up? Anthony picking up plenty of strikes here in his first match under the national television lights. 4 strikes for him so far. So Nair can max out with a 268. He's got a lead over Christian Azcona. We conclude match 2 from the U.S. Open next. Anthony Nair with the seat and a hefty lead over Christian Azcona here in match number 2 of the 2021 U.S. Open, the 77th edition of this historic, wonderful bowling tournament. Coming your way live from the National Bowling Stadium here in Reno. Jason Belmonte, your defending champ. He did not make the show this year. Azcona gets a strike there, so that's 2 in a row for Christian and his 4th overall strike.
Yeah, Belmonte finished 12th this week. A little disappointing for him, especially when you're defending, but not a bad week overall. Take a look at Christian and watch how much he opens that hand right there at the top of the swing. And then cups the wrist and then uncorks it like throwing a yo-yo into the floor. Watch this. There it is right there. Look how open the body is, and then the fingers right up the back of the bowling ball.
Really impressed by the 27-year-old and the year he's having as well.
I think the goal was to get into the top 16 for many players and get into the playoffs, and Christian did that.
Through the nose.
Well, anytime a player looks back after throwing a shot, That's usually indicative of that lane breaking down and the player not staying ahead of the transition. So remember, it started on the right lane, Rob, when it started to go high, and now it's happened on the left lane, a lane that he was perfect on up until that shot.
And this is a perfect setup for his competitor here, match number 2, Anthony Nair. First time under the lights, just 18 years old, being able to bowl his way, which is what his dad passed on to him last night when he saw him advance to today's title show and an open frame for Azcona. I mean, this is his second open frame, and he has hand-delivered this one to Nair.
Gift wrapped.
It's not over, but my goodness, now he can only max with a 211.
You know, even when it's high scoring, the U.S. Open is still the U.S. Open, and it still commands respect and your attention, not to mention the amount of pressure that comes with trying to win this event.
This kid 100% has my attention. I hold my breath every time he releases it, and I don't exhale until it hits a pin. This kid is on a roll. The Ginger Assassin is moving on, man. Watch out for this kid. Take a look at some other finishers here. Sam Cooley just missing the show. Our good friend Bill O'Neill finishing in 7th. The Hall of Famer Tommy Jones in 10th. Belmo finishing at 12th. He is just about on his way home. Stepping away from the tour for a while and tending to family business. Wish he and his wife and his kids best of luck. Number 4 on the way for the Belmo family.
Go through.
Another strike for Neuer.
Nastier than a vulture's breath, this kid is just pounding him right now, doing exactly what you do when given the opportunity. It's a 57-pin advantage.
Kimberly talked to him before the show about the confidence that he had. And he knew there was chatter yesterday. Hey, can this kid handle it? Hey, can this kid handle the pressure? He knew about it, and he wasn't indignant to us, but he kind of made it clear, they can talk all they want. I'm all right. I've got it. And he is sitting in the catbird seat to move on to match number 3. Azcona here in the 8th.
Rob, getting back to Nair, his last 8 games of match play, he went 6-2 and averaged almost 250. So, yeah, I mean, that's exactly your point. Nobody expected him to. The kid steps up.
Azcona eyeing the 2-pin here, taking care of 97% of the time on the tour. Walkaways, he drops that one. Tomorrow here on FS1, battle in the NL Central. Cubs taking on the Brewers. Action begins 7 Eastern. Available also on the Fox Sports app. Did you enjoy that Dodgers World Series ring ceremony the other day, my friend?
I did not see it. How did it go?
I didn't see it either. I'm a Tampa Bay Rays fan. I just turned that off. We got burned.
That's because I'm a Dodger fan, and my Dodgers took your Rays down.
Yes, they did. Jacob Buttroff up next, your 2 seed, looking like he's going to take on the teenager, Anthony Nair. Here's Azcona, though, in the 9th. Late drop of the 10. I don't want to be that guy, Randy, right? And as much as we're enjoying Anthony Nair, but we've shown you time and time again just how close he is dancing to that gutter.
Yeah. I watched him last night. I had to go down and watch him with my own eyes because I've never seen him throw it. And about his 4th shot, he threw one in. And then I got up and I left.
All right, we didn't jinx him there. I feel really good about that. My goodness,
no doubt. Pins
flying everywhere.
Maybe tape.
And he knows, right? Just keep it on the lane right now, and you're going to move on. Neuer looking to become the youngest player to win a major title. 18 years, 11 months, 15 days old. A couple weeks away from his 19th birthday. Curls that one in for a spare in the 9th. Now, Anthony Simonson, who did not compete this week, holds the current record for youngest player to win a major, won the 2016 USBC Majors.
Masters.
I'm sorry, Masters, yes. And a victory by Nair would also make him the third youngest player to win a title. 3 days older than when Simonson won his first. Who holds the record for youngest to win a title?
I've heard of this guy.
Ooh, look at that slide to take out the 10. The legend Norm Duke won the 1983 Cleveland Open at the age of 17.
Do you know who I think he beat? Oh, gosh. I think, was it Mark Roth or Earl Anthony? It was one or the other. Somebody help me. Send me a text. I think he beat Earl on that show.
Strike there for Azcona. Nair, they're fast-tracking things because Nair has moved on, picks up the spare, so we are getting set for our next matchup. The teenager, Anthony Nair, advances. He will take on your 2 seed, Jacob Buttriff, who has been so close so many times here at the U.S. Open. Is 2021 the year he finally claims this title? Last year at the U.S. Open in Lincoln, Nebraska, Anthony Simonson taking on Jason Belmonte in the title match. Belmo just blowing up the rack. Cleaning that one up for yet another major title for Mr. Belmo. Somebody's going to get a green jacket today. Could it be Anthony Nair? Frankly, do they have a green jacket big enough for Anthony Nair?
Yes, yeah, they do. He's a big kid, but they've got a big enough one for him.
Man, that kid was so impressive. Last game, there's a look at Nair trying to become the youngest to ever win a major. And Nair, the 3 seed, able to move on with a 36-pin win over your 5 seed, Christian Azcona. 7 strikes in that match for Nair. The story, though, a couple open frames from Azcona, which opened up the door for the young teenager. We are trying to fill that 5th and final vacancy for the guaranteed rate PBA Super Slam, which comes your way next Sunday, 12:30 Eastern on Fox. You win a major, you get an invite. Who's there already? Let me tell you, pretty good-looking group.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, some strong players, and then we're going to add another one from this group. The youngster and Jacob Buttriff, 2 southpaws going at it in our next match.
Plus, going back to next week in the Super Slam, you got 2 guys who are early contention for Player of the Year, and Tom Doherty and Kyle Troop as well.
Yep.
Interesting, Tom electing not to bowl here in Reno.
Yeah, that was talked about.
I bet it was.
Just saying.
He and I talked about it. How about that?
Did you?
That's how much we talked about it. All right, so Anthony Nair, 18-year-old from Pennsylvania. Yesterday, after he qualified, Randy, I went out to the parking lot. What did I see? Him loading up his pickup truck full of bowling balls. He drove himself from Milton, Pennsylvania, out here to Reno to try and become the first to win a major title at this young age, and he has got a major test ahead of him here in the first frame.
Yeah, not the start he wanted. This is a little tuggy, little tug right.
Ooh! A game effort. If you're going to have an open frame, that's where you do it. 26-year-old Jacob Buttriff is today's 2 seed. Twice he's been a U.S. Open bridesmaid. Is today the day he earns a U.S. Open title and his 2nd career major?
And Jacob was 2nd to Tom Doherty in the World Championship. 3 top 5 finishes in the U.S. Open in the last 5 years. He said this week it was all about stamina.
Stamina, versatility, true test of talent. Those are kind of the buzzwords he used when we asked him what this U.S. Open really means, kind of describe it. And then we said, all right, well, winning the U.S. Open, what does that mean? He goes, royalty. Kimberly, Jacob was watching the last match. What were his big takeaways?
He sure was, because during that match, I saw him intensely watching it. So I asked him during the commercial if he learned anything, and he said yes. He was watching Anthony since he is the other lefty on the show. And he says it seems that Anthony is losing his look and needs to stay super slow on that left lane. So I might need to force him out of his game plan a little and maybe even have myself end on the right lane.
Randy, what do you take away from that?
I have no idea. I'm right-handed.
Now, Buttroff, 26, but clearly the veteran in this battle.
I think the big advantage for Jacob is ball speed. He can throw it softer.
Another advantage, he's not the 1 seed here at the U.S. Open.
True.
Which doesn't quite make sense, but clearly the 1 seed role for him hasn't been working out.
Yeah, it hadn't panned out in the past. I think this is a great spot for him to be in, Rob, because if he can get past young Nair, he's got that 1 game under his belt. He goes into the title match, and he's confident, loose, and knows what the lanes are giving him.
Come on, 10-pin, get on down!
You know, when we're talking about youngsters winning in the sport of bowling, as we take a look at this light mixer, can I throw a little something at you, Rob?
Please.
So how about Wendy McPherson, who is a PWBA and USBC Hall of Famer? Do you know that she won the U.S. Open at age 18 on her spring break from high school?
Let me tell you, that's not how I did my spring breaks. Speaking of spring breaks, Anthony Nair 100% looks like the kid that you would go up to in high school and say, hey, can you maybe get me some California coolers? This dude does not look 18 is my point. We all had that dude in high school, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was not that dude I'm still not that dude.
I was thinking more like you were going to say something like, hey, listen, if I give you my lunch money, can I get some protection?
that would work too. I really like this kid's demeanor. His attitude, my goodness. The RPMs, fearless out there. And I love it. 18, I'm going on the tour. That's what I'm doing. He has made a commitment, got his PBA card on a Wednesday in October. And what did he tell us? That Saturday won his first regional in Strathmore, New Jersey. And we talked about earlier, the kid's got PBA DNA coursing through his veins. Jacob Buttroff, though, with an early hold on this game, up 21 as we begin the 4th. So back-to-back jacks for Jacob. He looks for a 3-bagger here. You see what he's done this week, 14 and 10 in match play, a 229 average over the course of 56 games.
He's quietly had a nice season.
Hasn't he? And I think that quiet will shift to a little bit louder volume should he win the U.S. Open. And another strike for Jacob.
Just unnecessary roughness on the 7-pin.
Through the flag?
Oh, my goodness. The 4-pin is just going to go like all primal on the 7 right here. Watch.
So he takes a seat, up 31. So now some pressure on Nair. Turns 19 April 26th. Longtime member of Team USA. Man, only 1 strike here in his 2nd match and our 3rd match of the day.
And so you can see what happens when players are using these non-reactive or urethane equipment and they're playing fairly close to one another, because these bowling balls have so much surface added to them with sandpaper, with Abralon pads. The texture is so rough that they absolutely crush the oil pattern and beat it up. And Jacob is just inside of Nair, and it's affecting his shot.
How do you react to the use of so much urethane this week at the U.S. Open?
Like I said, I haven't seen this much urethane go down the lane in a very long time. And I literally walked in last night at the start of match play. 24 players were using urethane.
Does that bother you?
Yeah.
Why?
because I think it's making us go in reverse. This is essentially equipment we used back in the 80s. And granted, they've been upgraded. The weight blocks have gotten more dynamic. The urethane itself's gotten a little stronger. But, you know, we're in the business of entertainment and evolving and moving forward. And I think that I'd rather not see this type of bowling ball go down the lane each and every week.
Four in a row for Buttroff.
And obviously, Rob, if the reactive stuff was better,
they would use it.
That's what they would use.
Right.
And they'd be playing the same part of the lane, probably, maybe moving in and swinging it a little bit more. But this is the recipe for success. And that's why everybody did it. I guarantee you they tried to use reactive, but it didn't work.
Lead at 42 for Buttroff. Took care of Nair earlier this week in match play. And another strike for the southpaw. Trying to win that elusive U.S. Open title for the first time is Jacob Buttroff, and he's built himself a nice 52-pin lead. We wrap up Buttroff. Nair, when our coverage of the U.S. Open on FS1 returns. We are back inside the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, continuing live coverage of the 2021 U.S. Open, the 77th edition of this prestigious tournament. Teenager trying to win it for the first time, Anthony Nair. But he's in a bit of a struggle here in his second match and third overall, down by 52, but working on a strike here in the sixth.
I think he's got high every shot on that lane. 4-6 in the first, then he leaves a 6-pin, and then here again he goes through the nose, leaving the 2-4. Has not figured out the transition, Rob, and again, how much turbulence is Jacob Buttroff's ball creating for him?
It's not like Anthony doesn't have a lot of experience. Year upon year of Team USA experience has helped get him to this point. Again, this is his first year, not even really his first year, just his first couple of months as a pro on the tour. And it takes a while to figure things out. You see a two-time junior gold championship winner.
You know, I think there's so many processes to becoming a champion on this tour, and especially winning a major. And I'll get to those processes right after this shot. Again, you can see that ball breaking loose early.
7-10. Come on, man.
Again, the look back. So
that's what I mean. I don't know why that re-racked.
Right through the face, leaving the 7-10. The 7-10 only been made on television 3 times in the history of professional bowling on TV.
Come on, kid, do it. Oh, he did it! He got the 7-10, Randy! He did it! Woo-hoo-hoo! My goodness, the Ginger Assassin just dropped the 7-10. You bet, kid. You bet. Oh, man. Give me some oxygen and water to spare the game. Brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. If you believe it, you can do it. Guaranteed Rate. Believe you will. I believe the Ginger Assassin can drop the 7-10. Oh, man.
It actually came off of the bowling ball into the 7. Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, here's Buttroff. Gets a strike. Boring. Right? Give me a 7-10 awesome, all day, every day. It was awesome, Jacob. Oh, man, I wish those masks were off. I want to see that smile. Fourth time in TV history, a 7-10 has been dropped, and it's the teenager, Anthony Nair, doing it. Oh, man, Pop's back home, Andy is loving it.
How about the last one before him to make it?
91?
Was just Stayrook, another southpaw.
Actually, the last person to get the 710 in this facility,
Yeah.
Ernie McCracken.
Was that against me?
Might have been. Oh, man, that was awesome. Like, that was bucket list type thing, man. That was just so cool. Following our PBA bowling coverage today, NASCAR Cup Series racing from Martinsville, Virginia, the Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief 500. Last night's race stopped. Rain out there after 42 of 500 laps. So Denny Hamlin will pick it back up as your leader. The race resumes 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific right here on FS1. Well, Nair can't get strikes, but he can drop a 710 right now. Just 2 strikes here. Unable to figure things out. And you can see the problems coming early, Randy, with the open frame in the first. Just hammers those 2 back in the pit. Get another spare. So that's 3 straight 8 spares for him.
All right, so think about this, Rob. So it's like you're in an airplane, right? Mm-hmm. And you're getting ready to take off. And you're like in a little puddle jumper. And right in front of you, there's a 747 taking off, right? So it takes off, and now you're going to take off right behind him. What do you think that's going to feel like? You want to talk about jet wash? I mean, so that's exactly what's going on with this young man right here. And you know what? All the experience in the world is not going to prepare you for this unless you go through it at a U.S. Open, and that's exactly what's happening to him right now.
Buttriff running away with this one, up 65. That one a sloppy little shot, but it's not going to hurt him.
2-7, baby split. You know why they call it the baby split, Rob?
Because it's smaller than the big split?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice cover. So, I mean, that's a really good, impressive cover. You know what's a better cover?
Yeah, the other one?
The other one. Can I give me the 710, please? Yeah. Anthony Nair. Bing, bong, boom. Oh, that is just glorious television. He's got that for the rest of his life, man.
Pretty incredible.
And that's going to help that drive back home to Pennsylvania. Strike there.
4 players.
4 in the
Ever.
history. So Jacob moves on. And we thought, Nair was in position to make history today. We just didn't think it was going to be of the 710 variety.
Right.
I'm still buzzing over that.
I'm telling you, that's crazy. So good.
And lost in it is Jacob Buttriff. Is really rolling nicely here, and now he's 1 win away from his first ever U.S. Open title. 1 win away from getting himself reinserted into the Play of the Year category and getting himself a slot at Super Slam next week outside D.C.
All right, so since we're both still buzzing
Yes, sir.
about the 710, one more 710 stat. Ready?
Please.
First player to ever make it, Mark Roth. The next 3, all southpaws.
Interesting.
John Mazza, Jess Stayrook, and now Anthony Nair.
And now up our 1 seed, Chris Nye, in an unusual position. More on that when we return. Well, there's 1 more vacancy left at this year's Guaranteed Rate PBA Super Slam. Kyle Troop, your PBA Players Championship winner, will be there. Francois Lavoie, your Kia PBA TOC champ, will be there. Our good friend Tom Doherty, your Guaranteed Rate PBA World Champ, will be there. USBC Masters champ Thomas Larson, the 4th invitee, and now the winner of the U.S. Open. All the major winners at the Guaranteed Rate PBA Super Slam comes your way next Sunday, April 18th, 12:30 Eastern, live over on Fox. The big story, Jacob Buttriff with the win, but Anthony Nair, the 710 conversion, the teenager, standing by with Kimberly.
That was so amazing to watch. Now, Anthony, I know you wanted to make it to the finals, but you did something only 3 other people have ever done in PBA history, and you made the 7-10 split live on television. So walk us through what was going through your mind, because everybody here stood up and started screaming when you made it.
I mean, at that point, I was just kind of ready. Like, I have 7-10. Jacob pretty well had me beat. But I just just kind of throw hard and hope. I mean, it's not really a spare that there's any strategy to. So I was kind of shocked when I made it. I never expected to make it.
Well, you did, and like I said, everybody here was on their feet, and I was screaming. But let's talk about the fact that you said prior to this, you said that this season was disappointing for you, but you made a major show. You made a 7-10 split on national television. How would you describe the season now?
I would describe it as a good season. I mean, I came out here, I didn't expect to win because, I mean, rookie year, you never expect to win, but to finish third at a U.S. Open, I mean, that's pretty impressive for me, so I'm happy with it.
Impressive indeed, and you got a bright future ahead of you. It's your first year as a pro. You're going to be amazing. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. You know who's really impressed right now is his dad. And one thing that really impressed me, Rob, when you were taking us through all the videos of the major winners this season, they all had the same reaction, didn't they? You see all the emotion in their eyes and in their face, and that's what winning a major is all about.
Well, Chris Vi trying to join that reaction list, trying to get himself to the Super Slam next week. But first, it's the title match, uninterrupted of the U.S. Open. Vi Buttriff next live on FS1. The PBA on FS1 is sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. If you believe it, you can do it. Guaranteed Rate, believe you will. And by Kia, introducing the all-new Sorrento, the world's first storytelling machine. Now, somebody's about to get that green jacket for the first time in their career. Will it be 2-seed Jacob Buttriff or your number 1 seed Chris Vi? Buttriff, a convincing win in his last match, 257-203. There's Chris Vi, just outside of Columbus, Ohio, 5th-year pro, looking for just his first tour title. Buttriff, the man with experience at this level, 7 tour titles, 1 career major, came in Vegas back in 2019 at the USBC Masters. It's been so close numerous times at the U.S. Open, trying to finally win it. And he opens up with a strike. For the first time at a major, 29-year-old Ohio native Chris Vi is your number 1 seed.
And Chris has been knocking on the door of major championship competition for the last 2 seasons. Last night he needed 2 strikes in the 10th frame to overtake Jacob Buttriff. He did just that. He said, in order for me to win, I have to stay aggressive. I can't be passive. Aggressiveness is the key to winning.
He doesn't come off as an aggressive guy, by the way. When we interviewed him, I'm like, look at your heart rate going. Look at the energy level. And he's like, listen, I'm pretty mild-mannered. I'm pretty calm. My guess is you're going to see some fist bumps and some barking if things go his way right today in Reno. So Vi starts off with the strike, and Kimberly, he had some time off between the Masters and the U.S. Open, and he wisely used it. Plus, he's in a different position this time, something nice for him.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys mentioned earlier that Chris has made 5 of the last 7 majors, but this is the first time that he is the number 1 seed. So in our pre-show interviews, we asked him, what was it like to lead these TV finals? And he laughed and said, honestly, I'm just happy that I am not in the first match of the telecast, because that's where I've always been. He smiled again and said, the big thing for me will be trying to figure out how to manage my time correctly. I'll probably just throw some shots, stay warm, and mentally prepare myself before the final, but we'll see how it goes.
Oh. It was that close to a perfect start. That 10-pin avoiding contact. This is the first time not in the opening match of a major telecast that he's made.
Head pin came across looking for seconds and then decided against it. But, we talked about Jason Sterner in bowling from March 29th until today in all those games. Chris Vi did the exact same thing.
So Vi strikes spare. He takes a seat. Jacob Buttriff steps back up. Two-time runner-up this season already. Lost to Tom Doherty at the World Championships. Lost to Sean Maldonado at the Chameleon. Will the third time be a charm this season? Back-to-back opening jacks for Jacob.
You know, the other great quality that Jacob Buttriff has is he's very gracious in defeat. He's the first one to congratulate his opponent or his opponents. He never makes excuses about anything. And I think that's a great trait to have. And, you know, he admitted that last year wasn't exactly his best year and that he was trying to get rededicated, refocused, the loss of his mother. And here he is, looking to win his first U.S. Open. All right. Just the 3-pin, way better than the 3-7-9 as Jakey puts the stop sign up.
Jacob remains clean. The impact of the pandemic on youth sports has been significant, and while recovery has certainly started in some communities, too many children in need are still left on the sideline. Visit goodsports.org to learn how you can help Fox Sports and Good Sports restore play for at-risk youth and the programs that serve them through donations of brand new sports equipment. Vi to close out the third. Strike, 9 spare to start for him.
Oh, hit it.
Yeah!
Great numbers here. As you see, he's going 6 to about 3.5. As you look at our strike track powered by Kia. And Chris Vi looking to take a lead with a strike in the fourth. Rob, he's had some success in the majors, huh?
Understatement, right? 5th last year at the U.S. Open, and then another 5th at the World Championship. Made it to the East Regional Finals early this year. 4th at the World Championship. 5th last week at the Masters. Today he'll finish no worse than 2nd. This will be by far his best finish at any major. Originally it was 4th at the World Championships this year. Strike there for Vi. And the interesting thing for Vi is he's vying for his first PBA Tour title. Not just his first major, his first Tour title after 5 years on the circuit.
Last player to win a major as his first title was, I think it was Andrew Anderson.
Buttriff in that unusual approach and delivery, getting another strike. So that's 3 out of 4 for Jacob.
Yeah, you said it, Rob. Unusual is exactly how you would describe it. Look at that cupped wrist. And then as he lets go of the bowling ball, he continues to slide. The slide leg straightens up. It's a very unusual style, but make no mistake about it, this young man knows how to bowl.
If you were a bowling instructor and this young man, you didn't know who he was, showed up and that was the first shot he showed you, what would you do?
I'd change everything.
Don't change a thing. Come on, roll into it. Not enough.
You know, it was like when Amleto Monicelli first came out on tour and he had the left arm straight out in front of him and his hand wide open, and just about every player on tour said, this kid won't win a thing.
Right. What are they?
And then it was like 20 titles or 21 titles later and Hall of Fame stuff. And yeah, but I mean, if I would have looked at Jakey like early on, I would have said, gets the ball in the swing real early, kind of doesn't have a whole lot of knee bend, kind of keeps slide. I'd have probably gotten him to at least stop his slide and then stay flexed in that slide leg, and that would probably be it.
You'd be looking at a payday because you're like, this is going to take a lot of lessons. You're going to be hanging out with me for a while. You know, just give me your credit card number. One pin game. Vi in the 5th. Looking for 3 in a row and finding it.
Oh my!
No, a 3-bagger there for Vi. You like that one?
Yeah, I mean, just super zapping the 10-pin. This is a 6. Check out the two-handed style, no thumb. And then watch the second pin from the right, the 6-pin. It goes to the sidewall and sends the 10-pin to the blue tent.
Vi making his 3rd consecutive appearance here in the TV Stepladder finals of a 2021 major. 4th at the World Championship, 5th last week at the Masters. Trying to win it all this week. And a 9.
Almost the 4-9, and then he almost tripped the 4 into the 9. And then he gives the stink eye to the arrows. And that, you know, the players, like, they look down and they kind of like, you know, I hit my target. Man, that should have struck. All right, so since it didn't, and since I threw it perfect, I have to make an adjustment.
Second spare for Vi, and following our coverage today, NASCAR Cup Series racing from Martinsville resumes. It's the Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief 500. Last night, rain put a halt to it after 42 laps. Denny Hamlin, your leader as the race resumes. Coming up next, 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, right here on FS1.
Beauty there by Buttriff to even the game right here. Title match of the 77th U.S. Open, and these players are swinging it out.
Both can max at 259. We're 6 frames through our uninterrupted broadcast of the U.S. Open Championship match. Next week, the tour off towards the D.C. area for the PBA Super Slam, live on Fox. The right lane has been awfully comfy for both of these guys. Left lane, not so much. Strike there for Jacob.
Now it's all even.
You were just ahead of yourself. You're a forward thinker.
Well, I just kind of, a little bit clairvoyant, and I kind of saw this coming. But, I mean, watch this, man. Cobra Kai, sweep the leg.
Strike hard, strike fast.
Didn't like it.
Right of target, but not a whole lot of damage.
Yeah, you got it inside of target, and then that ball hit all that oil, and it just kind of flared out on him.
Left the 5-pin.
Pretty good break since there was 5 standing at one point.
Tight one here in our championship match. Vi trying to win his first ever PBA Tour title. Buttriff trying to win his first ever U.S. Open. Vi in the 8. Messenger misses the 10.
Not what you want to see if you're Chris Vi, especially since Buttriff is working on 2 in a row. And we're getting late in the title match of a United States Open.
This one dropped 95% of the time on the tour. That'll increase the percentage. So for Vi, he's going to take a seat after not one, not two, but 3 straight 9 spares. Buttriff looking for a 3-bagger here.
Oh, good grief. Well, every shot that someone throws makes somebody happy, and right there, that made Chris Vi breathe a little easier. As you can see, the max scores now have changed. But this is not a very good break for Jacob Buttriff.
Left the 8. Goes after the 8. Drops the 8.
It's exactly what you want in a major championship. You want it to come down to the last couple of frames, and you want it to come down to shot making. The player that makes the shots ends up hoisting the trophy. It's a 1-pin match heading into the 9th frame.
Foundation frame 9th. Buttriff up first on the left lane.
Oh boy.
And the lefty.
Completely threw it out the window. And he's staring at an open frame at the absolute worst time in this match. .379.
We saw the 7-10 completed earlier today. The 3, the 7, but the 9, or rather the 3 and the 9 drop. The 7 stands. Open frame in the foundation frame 9th. Ouch. He's been a bridesmaid so many times this season, so many times at the U.S. Open, and he might be in that position again because Chris Vi has just been granted a huge opening after 3 straight 9 spares. 4 strikes for Vi here in our championship match, looking for his 5th, looking to extend that lead, which was just gifted to him.
Careful.
Does anybody want it?
Chris Vi with a spare. And 9 spare strike will win the U.S. Open.
Needs to take care of this first, which he does. So 9 spare strike for the title.
Remember what he said, I have to stay aggressive. My goodness.
It was right of target all the way, Randy.
Oh,
leaves
boy.
the double wood.
Oh, it sure was. That was
2-8.
Yeah, that was right of Lake Tahoe. And just, again, it just comes down to who's going to make the shot. That was the same shot that Buttriff made in the 9th frame on the left side of the lane, except the good break for Chris Vi is he didn't leave the 10-pin with it.
Takes care of that. Well, that's a nervy pickup there for Vi. Well done.
Rob, do you think sudden death is good in sports? Do you think it's exciting? Well, if Chris Vi strikes here, Jacob Buttriff has to strike out. And if he does, we go to sudden death. If he doesn't strike on this ball, he can lose.
He's been passive, changed his game to aggressive. How does he attack this? In the 10th. Big strike for Vi. Cannot lose in regulation. Takes a seat, knowing Buttroff has to drop 3 straight racks.
Last time up on this lane, Buttroff hits the pocket, leaves it solid 8. He's 3 of 4 on the right lane.
Coming off an open frame in the 9th. Buttroff must have it. 1 down. Pretty good show we got here at the end. And to have this here at the U.S. Open, what a perfect stage for it.
Yep.
So great to be back in the renovated National Bowling Stadium. Buttroff still needs 2 more strikes. Come on, Messenger! Yeah! Bailed out by the Messenger. 7 in the pit. Needs 1 more strike for a roll-off.
Well, if you like pin action and you like messengers, swipe right after watching this shot.
What a finish. Buttroff has to strike for the tie.
Got it way in.
And he doesn't. Vi wins the U.S. Open by 1 pin. First tour title. And number 1 is a major. And it's been coming for Chris Vi. We talked about his lack of emotion. Very calm, in control. He's trying really hard to maintain himself right now. A green jacket is being pulled out. Jason Overstreet from USBC putting it on.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Tom Clark, the commissioner of the PBA.
Thank you.
Hands off the Eagle.
Storm Nation, thank you so much. Turbo, couldn't do it without you guys. Shout out to all the family and friends back home watching. Oh.
Oh my goodness, that was an amazing title match. So you kept the pressure on Jacob. You forced him to get 3. Tell us from your point of view on that last throw.
Honestly, you know, I kind of expected Jacob to get all 3. I know how great he is and how great he's been bowling. So I was basically just getting mentally ready for a roll-off. And I was just fortunate that he didn't get them all.
Not only are you walking away a PBA Tour titleist, but you're walking away a major champion. Describe this moment.
I honestly can't even put it into words. Like, honestly, I'm speechless. This is obviously a dream come true. I think everyone wants to win a tournament, and everyone wants to win the U.S. Open. And to be able to say that I actually did it, it's incredible.
What does it mean, the fact that you are walking away with the coveted green jacket, you're walking away with this trophy, you're walking away with the U.S. Open win? What does that mean?
It's something no one can ever take away from me, and I'm extremely proud of what I've done and the work that I've put in to get to this point. And the guys, you know, with Storm here that have been with me for several years now, I mean, there's no way I could have done it without them. So I'm just very, very fortunate.
Well, you've made 5 of the last 7 major championship shows, and today you walk away a major championship. Congratulations on winning your first ever PBA Tour title and the U.S. Open.
Woo! Wow.
Yes.
That's exactly, well, like I said before, it's exactly what you want to have happen in a major. You want it to come down to the player having to perform at the highest level in their sport.
Storm.
Is Vi's third shot in the 10th, which meant he could not lose in regulation. And then it put the pressure over on the Buttriff camp. And unfortunately for Jacob, now third time as a runner-up at the U.S. Open, third time as a runner-up this season on the tour. And guess what? You've got yourself a bowling date outside of D.C. next week, Mr. Vi, because you have just filled up that 5th spot at the Guaranteed Rate PBA Super Slam. Troop, Lavoie, TD, Thomas Larson, Chris Vi, all in action next Sunday, 12:30 Eastern, live on Fox from Bolero in Annandale, Virginia. Coming up next year on FS1, NASCAR Cup Series racing from Martinsville resumes. We pick it up after 42 of 500 laps. Denny Hamlin, your leader. Chris Vi, your winner at the 2021 U.S. Open Championship. His first tour title, oh, by the way, just happens to come at the U.S. Open from the Cathedral of Bowling, the National Bowling Stadium here in Reno. For Randy Pedersen, Kimberly, Pressler, and our entire crew, I'm Rob Stone. Thank you for watching the PBA on FS1.